Subscribe to Smartphone Tutorials by clicking on the subscribe button, and do remember to click on the notification bell icon to get instant notifications. Well, usually I start my videos with a lot of enthusiasm and a lot of praise for most of the smartphone manufacturers, because I know and I understand as a consumer, these smartphone companies, as much as they ask for the money for the product that they make, there is a lot of hard work and a lot of talent that goes into making these phones. Now, OnePlus as a company, from the day they were announced, from the initial invite system to the way they wanted to revolutionize, and to some extent they have, the smartphone industry, is something I have always appreciated. Starting with the OnePlus One, which I still have, and it is still connected to my DSLR as a monitor. I still have some use for it. In fact, it is still a very good video recorder. So they definitely made brilliant devices, barring the OnePlus 2 and to some extent the OnePlus X as well. Well, starting with the OnePlus 3, the 3T, and then the OnePlus 5, I really started liking them. I used to be a Samsung fan earlier, but then again over the years I started loving the Pixel experience, and what OnePlus offered initially was pure Android, faster updates, premium build quality, all at half the price of what a flagship phone would normally do. Now that is the reason I decided that the T model, the next one that comes, I would be buying that on launch day, and that is what exactly I did. On 21st of November 2017, I went ahead and purchased the OnePlus 5T. Well, a day later, I had it in my hands. I was loving it. There is, a playlist about the OnePlus 5T on my channel, which is around 15 or 16 odd videos. Well, that clearly signifies that I'm loving the way the phone is built, loving the way the software is, and loving everything about it. But of lately, what I discovered is, as much as it was a pleasant surprise for me to find a protective case inside the packaging of the phone, I loved it when I initially saw it. But when a couple of days back, I removed the phone from this particular case, we're just gonna have a quick look at what exactly is going on with the OnePlus 5T. So this is the case that I was talking about. I've been using this case from day one. This is the official case that comes with the phone. Now let me see if I can show you the actual smudges or the paint chipping issue on camera. Just hold on. So we take the case off, and let's see here. All right, I guess you guys can easily see what's exactly going on. Let me see if I can focus a little bit here. Just one. Okay, there you can clearly see it. So that's the bottom part. Okay, you can see the shine. That's the paint chipping off. It's happening everywhere, and this is what I was mad at. There you go. Okay, so that's this side. Now let's have a look at the top. Focus again. Okay. Okay, so that's the top part. You can see all this line here. There's the paint chipping. Let's have a look at the right side. Should be a little more evident here. As you can see, the shiny part, the shiny particles that you see, there you have a look at the bottom again. The paint is literally chipping off. There you can see. Now, this is not a residue or something. This is clearly okay. I guess you can see it more clearly now. The entire bottom part, this part here, is losing paint. It's clearly visible. And I don't know how that is not a manufacturing defect if it has been used with the official OnePlus case. The entire back side is somewhat losing it, and I believe if this is the case in 43 days, I really don't know what would happen if I were to use the phone for 6 months, as most of the people go. You don't really take the case off. Now the case once again that we're talking about here is this particular case. Nothing fancy, nothing special, just a normal regular gel case. So let's get back to the discussion. Initially, these images to me look like, when I saw this phone like this, I felt maybe, it's just some dust on it or something like that. I took a dry cloth and cleaned it. It didn't go away. Then took a slightly wet cloth and cleaned it. It didn't go away. On inspection and checking with a couple of more people to clear my doubts that, it's not something wrong that I'm looking at, but it's indeed something on the phone, I discovered that this phone has paint chipping issues all around the phone, including somewhere on the fingerprint scanner, and on all the corners the color is chipping and it is just fading away, including this case. Now the worst part here is that I have never dropped this phone. It was never mishandled or used inappropriately. At the same time, apart from this particular case, even if you look at all of my videos, I've never tried a different case. Well, that calls for a manufacturing defect, and that is what I thought it was. Being a flagship phone, if you're going to visit a service center, I thought that you would get a good experience. You would be treated in, if not differently, at least you will have a warm treatment. I called the OnePlus service center at Lamington Road, Mumbai today, and I visited there first thing in the morning because I was concerned about my phone. Upon visiting there, I had to fill up a form, I had to take up a token and wait for my number to come. When I was called, I told them that this is the issue that is there with the phone. Well, then they asked for an invoice and I gave them an invoice. After checking the invoice, the first funny thing that they tell me is, "Sir, your invoice doesn't have an IMEI." Now, it is a given thing that this phone in India is sold only by Amazon, and the invoice was from Amazon. So it doesn't really matter what sort of invoice it is. Now, at the same time, I explained this to them, and after a small argument, this was taken care of. Nonetheless, when they checked the issue, they said that this is normal wear and tear. They were showing me the terms and conditions, and I was surprised. I told them the phone is 43 days old. Say if the phone is 6 months old or 8 months old, I would go ahead and agree that okay, it's normal usage and some things might change because it's a device after all, and with some usage the marks will be there. But then this is clearly a paint chipping issues within 42 to 43 days. After that, the next surprising thing that OnePlus Care India or OnePlus Service Center tells me is that, sir, you will have to leave your phone with us. We will have to inspect it, and only upon inspection we will check with OnePlus if it is eligible to be covered under warranty. Now, I'm going to play a slideshow as well as I will show you a few images after zooming in. You can check for yourself and you can tell me if this looks like a manufacturing defect or not. After arguing with them for about 10 minutes, they settled on taking pictures. They were not ready to provide me a replacement phone. They were not agreeing that, I understand if there is a software issue, if there is an internal hardware issue that you need to keep the phone, you need to observe it, and then you need to probably replace some parts or flash a new software and observe it again, and to ensure that the problem has been solved, you give it back to the customer. That is not the case. This is a hardware issue. You can simply click pictures, send it to OnePlus, get the approval, and get the phone or the backplate replaced. That is what I explained to them. Still, they were not agreeing to give me a replacement phone or to provide me an assurance that it would be replaced under warranty. Well, that is when I had to tell them that probably they can send me an email stating the same, or they can give it to me on a piece of paper that they will not replace the phone, and that's when somehow they agreed to call me tomorrow. Now, today is the 2nd of January. 3rd of January is when they have promised me that they will be calling me back. I called up OnePlus support and they were also skeptical if this will be covered under warranty. I tweeted Carl Pay on Twitter, I made a post on Facebook, and I'm doing everything possible. And that is not all. The last bit to this is that I am a part of an international WhatsApp group for OnePlus 5T, which was made by a lot of enthusiasts. And there are people from all over the globe. Surprisingly, more than 5 people in India in that group have this particular issue already. So it's definitely a manufacturing defect. Now, this is not a PR stunt. This is not, something to gain attention. This is just a clear message to OnePlus that your OnePlus 5T, yes, the phone that you manufactured and launched with so much enthusiasm, is having manufacturing defaults or manufacturing defects, including the pieces in India, and the main cause of the problem may be the case that you're supplying with the phone. Well, here's a request, take a note of it, do a recall, reach out to your customers and get that sorted. Do share your thoughts in the comment section, guys. Do check your OnePlus 5T, and if you've not already purchased, I would recommend you to wait for a few days. Let's get a clear answer from OnePlus as to what the policy will be, what are they going to do about this particular issue, and if it really is a major issue or not. So if you like this video, guys, do like, share and subscribe, and once again, don't forget to participate in the giveaway, the details for which are mentioned in the description box. The prize is a brand new Redmi 5A if the channel reaches 4,000 subscribers in the month of January. OnePlus, do a good job as you always have been. I agree that you all make brilliant devices. Let's get that sorted. Thank you for your time, guys. Goodbye.